Okay, so once you got Fruity Loops, you really started getting serious about like making beats every day?
Yeah. I was making beats every day. Even with Pocket Band, I was making beats every day.
Okay.
On the phone. I'd be in the middle class making beats. And then like I got the laptops, still making beats every day. Like she in college and I'm taking her laptop to school with me.
Right.
She asking me like, can I use my laptop? I got homework to do, then you can get it back.
Right.
But this is her laptop.
Okay, and how'd your mom take to, you actually making beats and starting to get serious about it?
My mom was just supportive of whatever we chose to do.
Okay.
Like, whatever we chose to do, she's supportive. Like, so it's like, she was there. It was more of a like she had work things, so I need to know what hours not to have the music blasting.
Well, but here you are in Atlanta, right? You're South Side Atlanta?
Uh-huh.
And in one of your interviews, you said that you were talking about how a lot of your friends were getting caught up in the streets, getting arrested, going to prison, and some of them were actually ending up dead.
Yeah.
So how did that affect you seeing all that?
It's like, I mean, you got choices, so it's like you'll probably go do some dumb shit with them, and then like you be like, nah, I need to chill out. Let me just make beats. So then you just keep making beats. And then you telling them like, y'all should make beats too. But they ain't listening. They like, man, we getting a little money right now. Like, so like, I understand that, but growing up now is like, why would I ever do that?
I mean, you know that now being where you are, but at that time, did you try to dabble a little bit and, get mixed up a little bit and then back out? Or were you just always like, nah, I ain't fucking with it?
What's crazy, I'm not easily influenced. So it's like, you just can't influence me to do anything that I don't want to do. If I did something, I wanted to do it.
Good. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't your mom kick you out of the house at one point?
So, yeah, that was middle school. And then I ended up coming back.
Okay, how old were you when you got kicked out?
I think 13.
Okay, what does a 13-year-old do when he gets kicked out of the house? I mean, number one, why did you get kicked out?
I was like, she said I was bad. I said I was misunderstood. It's like, I was in trouble like every day. Like, sometimes the police bring me home or just trouble at school all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, man, she tired of it. She like, I'm gonna show you how real it is now.
Okay, so when you got kicked out, where'd you go?
My dad.
Ah, okay. So you stayed with your dad for a while.
But shit, he was fucked up too. So, it was like we was fucked up. So for like, now I ended up going back.
Okay. So you go back.
Yeah.
And then in 2016, you were 16 years old at the time. You ate some pizza.
Uh-huh.
And things went haywire after that.
I remember that day, it was pizza and weird combination. Pizza and Chinese food in that night. And then
which usually is not too bad. I mean, I've eaten pizza and Chinese food.
Yeah, and then I woke up and I couldn't even move.
Okay.
Worst pain in my life.
Well, your intestines, like something went wrong with your intestines?
Yeah, like I think it was just a hole in my intestine somehow. And then it was like, leakage inside, and I didn't know none of that. I'm just thinking like, damn, boy, I ain't never felt this type of pain before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, go to the hospital. I had to learn how to walk again and stuff. I had to relearn how to walk, all that.
How long were you in the hospital?
In total, I think 9 months.
Damn.
Yeah.
So right in the middle of high school, essentially, for pretty much the whole school year, you're in the hospital.
Yeah. My by the time I got back to school, folks came to me crying and stuff. They're like, man, we thought you was dead, this and that. I'm like, man, y'all niggas y'all ain't check on me.
Okay, and you were actually making beats in the hospital.
Yeah. I was making beats.
Not with headphones, mind you.
Nah, speakers.
With speakers.
I brought my speakers, like the nurses be like, hey, sir, you gotta turn that down. Or they be jamming and stuff, and then like be too loud. I ain't care though.
You were just a menace in that hospital pretty much.
Man, I was motivated.
Okay. Did any of those beats end up going anywhere later on, or did they all get trashed?
Me and one star went to Montana 300.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, shout out to
I
Montana.
was working with him, trying stuff out at the time.
Okay.
He seen the vision a long time ago, and then, we just never dropped nothing.
Oh, okay. So he was recording on it, but he never actually released any of it.
Yeah.
Aha. Okay. So then you get out of the hospital and you hit the ground running at that point.
Yeah, I get out the hospital. I think first day out the hospital, I think I can still barely walk. I'm at the studio though.
Mm-hmm.
Like straight to the studio, making beats and stuff.
Okay. So you're making beats in the studio. And were you selling beats at this point?
I was trying to, but it didn't work. So what I was doing, I was like, I don't even want to sell my beats. I'm gonna just record people if I need some bread right now.
As an engineer?
Yeah.
Okay. But engineers sort of have this, kind of tone to them. You know what I'm saying? They're very kind of passive. They're quiet. And I guess sometimes people disrespect engineers.
I wasn't an engineer.
So you had a problem with sort of the treatment of
what?
engineers.
Did
you ever get yelled at by a rapper or something like that?
Yeah, once. And that was the last time I engineered. We was about to fight.
Okay. Can you say who the rapper was?
Oh, no, he wasn't no big rapper. He was an up and coming.
A local rapper.
Like, why did you do it? Like, bro, don't yell at me. Like, nigga, I look like I ain't got no tattoos. I look innocent, boy. I would beat your ass. Like,
okay, so you said fuck all the engineering shit. And then you meet Casino from Free Bands.
Yeah.
And that's what changed your life.
Yeah, I was at in the hood just making beats every day. Casino was like, hey, you hard. Like, I want to sign you. I got to introduce you to Future. That's exactly how he said it.
Mm-hmm. And Future was on fire at this point.
Yeah, Future had just dropped Hendrix. And, he had just dropped Future and Hendrix.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, it's probably like right before that, actually. He ain't just dropped it, was before that.
Okay, and then I guess a week later, you actually met Future?
Yeah, a week later.
Okay, and how'd that first meeting go?
It was like, I was asleep. And I remember we was in Atlanta, I was asleep. Then I wake up to like Future trying to dap me up. And it's like a little, free band handshake. But I already knew it because I was in the hood with everybody. So it's like, I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, it's Future right here. But that's who I listened to growing up. So like, it's hard, so. We did a song that night.
Okay. How did that feel? I mean, was that your first placement with like a major artist or a known artist?
Yeah. But we didn't drop that song either.
Aha. Okay. But it was the first time a major artist was recording over your beats.
Basically.
I mean, shout out to Montana 300, but Future's kind of like,
the
next level when it comes to that. Okay. And you're still in high school at the time?
Yeah, I was still in high school. It was my senior year.
Okay. And I guess Future didn't want to sign you because you were still in high school.
I don't know. I think it was more of like he wanted to see how dedicated I am, like, because some people like we had a long talk. Not at that time, but like a little later, it was just like, man, people come around, they get the sauce and they leave, and it's like, shit, we locked in, like. So it was more just seeing that, like, man, is he here to stay or he just here for a song or two, or say he met me and then dip?
Okay. And I guess from that point on, every beat you made, Future got the first listen.
Yeah, every beat.
Every beat.
Yeah, every single beat.
Okay. So from that point on, you recorded one song that night. You look at the next few months and so forth. Are you and Future like still recording on your beats?
He on Nobody Safe tour.
Right.
Yeah. So I catch him one night when he was high. So I was like, hey, it's cool if I go on tour. So I knew he was gonna say, yeah, he don't even know what I'm talking about right now. So he like, yeah. So I'm like, cool. I run home, grab all my stuff, like, and come back to the studio. I just wait on the tour bus to pop up, and I hop on the tour bus. So we on tour. I'm still making beats on the tour bus though.
Uh-huh.
I think he had a show in Atlantic City, and he was like, He was like, Jacob, who told you to come on the tour bus?
Because he was high when he told
And
you
I
you
was
could
like,
come.
you did. And he was like, he was just thinking like, all right.
Fuck it. You
I'm
here?
still
So
working though on the tour bus. It just experience. I was 17. I was 18.
Okay. I mean, were you like DJing or carrying bags, or what were you doing on that tour? Like,
Just carrying bags and stuff like, assisting whoever needed help
mhm.
and making beats.
Okay. But this is your first time on tour
Yeah.
with Future.
Man, that was my first time on any tour. That
On
was my
any tour,
first
that's what I'm
time
saying.
that was my first time really like outside of Georgia for real.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I've been to Florida and stuff. That was about it. And,
Right.
like really on the road outside of Georgia, that was my first time.
Right. You said it was a Thought Life on tour.
Yeah, definitely.
What was that like? I mean, because, listen, man, I remember as a DJ when I started to tour and going to other countries like Australia and shit like that. It was like the girls and everything is just like, it's like nothing you've ever experienced.
And now it's crazy because then I think about it like I always been the youngest around.
Mhm.
So it's like I'm 18 and like I'm on tour like all these grown bitches like in and out with me. Like I'm thinking like, man, all these bitches like 10 years older than me or 5 years older than me. And like going crazy.
How did that feel?
It was new to me, like of course I had something going crazy, but that was in the hood. But like for that to be on tour, like you hitting like foreign shit, like all type. It was a cool phase though.
Right. I mean, because Future bring out the women too. He got like a large, he
Yeah.
got the male fan base, but he is like, one of these rappers that also has a big female fan
Fact.
base as well.
Facts.
So I can just imagine how crazy that was during that time.
Shit.
All right. So that happens. You're still working. And then your first big placement comes, which was Meek Mill's Splash Warning.
Yeah. No. Before that was Durk.
Okay, yeah. Story 2.5 by Durk.
Yeah.
Okay. So you and Durk hook up, I guess, through Future, right?
Uh-huh. We had a Future session and Casino pulled Durk in the room like, hey, this ATL Jacob, he next. Y'all need to work. And shit. I knew how to engineer a little bit, so we had no engineer, so I'm recording Durk. We did like 2 songs that day.
Okay, and one of them was Story 2.5,
Yeah.
which is at like 4 million, well, almost 5 million streams right now on
Yeah.
Spotify. Did you feel like you had something when you guys put that together?
No.
No.
I felt like, no. Actually, no, yeah. Because the beat was so different. It wasn't like the usual.
Mhm.
It was actually like, it was just different for me. I remember making a beat and all. Like, it was just a vibe.
Okay. So then the next big song was Splash Warning, Meek Mill,
Yeah.
featuring Future, Roddy Ricch, and Young Thug.
Yeah.
So you got all these like superpowers coming together on one song produced by ATL Jacob.
Facts.
How did it feel to have that amount of talent on your track?
Man, what's crazy, I didn't even know about the song until they hit my lawyer. It's like, hey, you got one on Meek Mill album. I was like, for real? I didn't even know Future did the beat.
Really?
I left on the beat because at that time I was probably making like 20 beats a day. And out of 20, he'll do like 15 in one night. 15 songs in one night, all me.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was unexpected. But it was cool, like, to just know.
Weren't you in the studio with Meek Mill?
Not during that time. I met Meek Mill at that time.
You met him around that time.
I met him and he remembered too. I brought it up a couple weeks ago to him. He's like, bro, I remember that.
Did you have a bunch of like big artillery joints with you during that time?
Yeah. He remember I was like 18, hopping out of a little Honda with two big ARs.
Okay. which is perfectly legal in Georgia.
It's legal for sure.
It's legal in Georgia. There's nothing wrong with that in Atlanta. Why were you rolling around with ARs? 2 ARs on top of it. Like what? Clearly one was not enough that day. You needed 2.
I think one was my homies. And I know one was mine for sure. So
okay.
I was just,
I mean, what?
I was at a studio actually though.
Okay, but you yourself didn't really have beef. Or did you?
I wasn't on smoke.
Okay.
I'm not that type of guy.
Right. Is it just what the people around you sometimes would be into shit and you're just worried for your own safety?
Nah, we actually just peaceful.
So why you got 2 AR-15s then?
You know, like it's Atlanta. You never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Okay, so Splash Warning comes together. So you weren't in the studio when it actually came together though?
Nah, not that song.
So you just gave Future the beat and then Meek Mill pretty much put it all together?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you first heard the song, what'd you think?
All right, the song cool. Like, even though most people probably be excited, like, oh, it's a Meek Mill, I got money Meek Mill album, To me, I wasn't too excited about the song because I still wanted some touches to do on it. I still wanted to touch the song and do some stuff on it.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, you got different kinds of producers out there. You got the dudes that just send out beats, and then next thing you know, the song is done. But then you got the dudes that are like, I want to sit here and work on the shit with you in the studio.
Yeah.
And that was not one of those songs.
Yeah.
Were other songs that you were working on actually real hands-on?
So during that time, Future, to like really like what I do now, like I take the session with me and I go crazy with it. Like you got to build that type of trust. So it wasn't there yet.
Okay, fair enough. And then right around that time, that's when Young Scooter and Future dropped Real Talk.
Yeah.
And that's where that tag came from, which is how I started the interview off with.
Mm-hmm.
And how does that line go?
ATL Jacob, ATL Jacob. Shout out to the ops. Assalamu alaikum.
And he actually, Scooter started off the song with that.
Yeah, that was the first thing he said. I was there when he recorded that.
Okay. When you heard that, you were like, oh, okay, I'm going to use that for a tag, or did that just somehow organically pop up?
What's crazy, when he did it, I didn't know he was recording. Like, he was like, ATL Jacob, ATL Jacob. And I just looked at him. I was like, oh, okay. I thought he was just calling my name, like saying, what's up? Because I had literally walked in and then he said that. He looked at me and then he said that. But he was recording. I ain't even know.
Okay. So how did that line become your tag?
Oh, when he did it, I made sure I chopped that up.
Okay, so you chopped it up and you started using that for everything moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay.